Hey guys, it's April the 30th, 2025, and I hope everybody's been having a wonderful day so far today. Well, as you can see, I'm back home. It's been quite the adventure. It's a pretty long story, and I'm going to try to give you the quick version of this. I don't want to drag this out too long. I'm so tired right now. I haven't been feeling all that great for the past week, and I haven't talked about it on here, not that I remember. I don't think that I have, but for the past week, I've been dealing with a lot of stomach and back pain, and I've been having a lot of fatigue. I just thought that maybe I'd pushed myself too hard as usual, so I kept, trying to give it a little bit of time, and was trying to get some rest. I thought maybe if I just rest, this will go away. Because once again, I thought that maybe I just pushed myself too hard, which is something that happens to me a lot. I'll overdo it, and then, it takes a few days for me to get back to normal. I just have to really rest for 3 days. If I rest for about 3 days, just stay inside, hang out on the couch, make sure I don't do anything real laborious, just take it easy, and try to get as much sleep as I can, and, eat well, eat as clean as possible, and usually I'll get better after a couple of days, and I'll jump right back. But this past week, it just, the more I tried to rest, the worse it seemed to get. And the back pain was getting really bad. It was stomach pain that was radiating to my back, which it felt like pancreatic problems is what it felt like to me. But it also felt like that occlusion in the tips. And so, there's really no way for me to tell. I wasn't getting pain on my right side. I was just getting pain in the center of my abdomen, right underneath my rib cage, and it was kind of radiating to both sides. So it was going up kind of over towards my liver and kind of towards my pancreas, but it really kind of stayed right in the center of my stomach. And then, like I said, it was radiating to my lower back, and it was making my back hurt really bad. I kept telling myself that I had done something, lifted something too heavy or slept wrong, or you know how it goes. We're looking for every excuse under the sun for why we don't feel good, or why we hurt, or whatever it may be. We're looking for any good reason why this is happening, and that's why I kept trying to figure out, why am I feeling this way? But once again, I was getting this really bad stomach pain that's radiating to my back. I had really bad fatigue, really bad nausea. I've been taking nausea pills every couple of hours. I haven't been able to eat anything. Total loss of appetite. Every single thing that I think about to eat just sounds so nasty for some reason. I just have not been able to eat anything. So I guess it was about Monday. I think it was Sunday. I was really tired on Sunday. This all started last Thursday. And then, like I said, Sunday I was pretty tired, but I felt okay that day. I started getting a little energy back that afternoon. But then Monday, I woke up Monday morning and I just felt really bad. I just did not feel good. And I went the whole day on Monday, just extreme fatigue, really bad nausea, really bad indigestion. I was having night sweats and chills at night. And, I was starting to think maybe I was getting sick. I wasn't sure what was going on, but I was really hoping that, if I just rested, it would just go away. I did not want to go to the hospital. I really don't like going to the hospital. But yesterday morning, my wife left, and I told her, I'm really tired. And I rolled back over and went back to sleep. And my wife called me yesterday morning, and I guess when she called, I took my phone off the charger. and it already wasn't charged up because I didn't charge it the night before. I think my wife had plugged it in for me yesterday morning, and then when she called me, I unplugged it to answer it, and then I never plugged it back in. And around like 11:30 or noon or something, my wife was trying to get in contact with me, and I wouldn't answer the phone. She kept trying to call, I wouldn't answer. She kept trying to text me, I wouldn't answer. Because she could see that my blood sugar was starting to go back. It was trending back down again. Because when she called me yesterday morning, she's like, you need to take a glucose tablet. Your blood sugar's getting really, really low. And she knew I was probably asleep, and I was. So I took a glucose tablet, rolled over, and went right back to sleep. Barely remember any of it. And like I said, I must have left my phone just laying there unplugged, and then my phone died. My wife could see that my blood sugar was starting to trend back down, and then it just died. So then she kept trying to call me, and it went straight to voicemail. And then she's like, okay, something's wrong. So she told her boss, she's like, I'm going to run home and check on my husband, and then if he's okay, I'll be back. And when she got here yesterday to check on me, I was out of it. And it was like 12:30 when she got here. I do not sleep like that. I just don't. I'm not that type of person. The only time I sleep late like that is when I'm sick and something's wrong. So when my wife got home yesterday and woke me up, she's like, what's going on with you? And I told her, I just don't feel good. And my wife said, okay, you know what we have to do. And I already knew. The day before, I had already started packing up my stuff. I grabbed my emergency hospital bag out, had it sitting on our dresser. I had another one of my bags that I kind of throw miscellaneous stuff on sitting on my dresser, and I'd already started grabbing little things here and there because I have, for the most part, everything already packed for the hospital. So in case I have an emergency, I have a varices burst or something, I can just grab that bag and leave. But I just wanted to make sure, because I had a feeling that if we went down there, I was probably going to be in the hospital for like a week or so. So I just wanted to grab, a couple extra pairs of clothes, some extra socks and underwear. And I just wanted to double check everything and make sure I had all my stuff. And my wife went and packed me a cooler with some protein shakes and ginger ales and stuff like that. And she helped me finish up my packing, and we left. We were on the road. I don't remember what time it was that we got out of here, but it was in the afternoon yesterday, early afternoon. I think about 2 o'clock or something like that, we got out of here, and we headed down to Charleston. It's about a 3-hour drive for us to get down there. So we drove straight down and got to the hospital. I had called my interventional radiologist. I called and left a voicemail with his nurse on the way down yesterday to tell him that we were headed there. Because they had told me when I had my last CAT scan, the one where I came on here and said, I got some pretty bad news, or life-changing news, or whatever that video was called, where they found that I had a full occlusion in the tips and that they weren't going to do surgery. During that conversation, my doctor did tell me, if you start to have symptoms like, you have a bleed or extreme fatigue, like you can't, you're back sleeping all the time again, like I was, or ascites or something like that. He said, go ahead and come back down here and come to the ER, and we'll go ahead and do a procedure if that's the case. So that's what I'm thinking is going to end up happening. I thought for sure it was because of the occlusion of my tips was causing this. I thought maybe there might be some problems with the capillaries that have grown along my portal vein that are allowing blood to flow through there right now, because my portal vein is totally blocked off right now. But these capillaries, these veins have grown on the outside of the portal vein, and they're allowing the blood to flow through. I was worried that maybe a couple of those capillaries or something had gotten clogged up. So, I needed to go down there. And, once again, we went straight to Charleston. And when we got there, I told them what was going on, that I was having real bad stomach pain, back pain, real bad nausea, extreme fatigue, all that stuff. And they're like, okay. They took me back to the ER. And we waited and waited, and then they came in and they drew a bunch of blood. The doctor came in and talked to me and, asked me what was going on. I told him. He said, okay, we're going to do some labs and we're going to do a CT scan. And after we get that stuff done, then we'll touch base again after that. And I said, okay. So they drew my labs, and then I went and had my CAT scan done with contrast, and then went back to the room and waited. And not much longer after that, the doctor came in and said, hey, we got your labs back. He said, and, your labs don't look great, but for you, they don't look that bad. Compared to a normal person, my labs are horrible. But for me and what my labs usually look like, they said, they're pretty much the same as they usually are. My bilirubin wasn't bad. They checked like lactase or lactate or something like that because they were worried I might have an infection. The doctor asked me, have you ever had an infection in your stomach before, like in like ascites fluid or anything? And I told him, yeah, as a matter of fact, I have. That I ended up going septic back in 2022, and he's like, okay, we're going to check for that. So they drew more blood, and I think that was the lactate that they checked for, or lactase. And he came back after that blood work and said your lactase or lactate numbers look okay, so I don't think you have an infection. Your white blood cell count, my white blood cell count, he said, was a bit elevated, but not really, really bad. But the rest of my numbers, he said, looked decent for me. He said that nothing was, sticking out like a sore thumb or anything like that. And he said, we just need to wait on your CAT scans. And maybe an hour later, he came in and said, okay, well, we got your CAT scans back. You do have a full occlusion in your tips. He said, but there's no change in your CAT scans from a month and a half ago. Everything still looks the same. He said, and there is flow going through those capillaries in your portal vein. So there is blood flow going on there. There's not, it's not just completely cut off. And I was really surprised. I did not think that was going to be the case. I thought for sure they were going to tell me that the capillaries had gotten blocked off or something, because the fatigue was just, through the roof. So he went on to tell me, I spoke with interventional radiology. I got to go back and talk with them again. And, now that we got your CAT scans back, let me go talk with them and I'll be back to talk with you. And I said, okay. And I asked him, I said, am I going to be admitted? And he goes, I don't know. I got to see, what they say, what interventional radiology says. He said, I do know that they're extremely behind right now, like really backed up. He said they're probably not going to want you to be admitted and wait on a procedure, if you're not like doing extremely bad right now. He said you don't have ascites. It doesn't look like you have encephalopathy. He said, you look okay. And he said, I understand that you're really tired and stuff like that, but he said, if you came in here with really bad ascites and a varices that had burst and all that, he said it'd be no question at all. He said, but, by your appearance and by looking at your labs and all that stuff, you're really not that bad off. I understand you don't feel great, but he said, I don't think it's a life or death situation. He says, so let me go talk with interventional radiology. I'll be back. He was gone for just a few minutes. He came back and he said, okay, they want to talk with you. They want to follow up on this, but, it's going to be a while before they're going to be able to get to a procedure, and it's not going to be this week. He said, I'm going to leave it up to you what you want to do. He said, if you feel like you need to be here, you can't keep your pain under control, and then we'll admit you and, manage your pain until we can figure out what we're going to do with interventional radiology. And I told him, I said, I think I'll be fine at home. The biggest concern was that we were worried that, there was a full occlusion with those capillaries being blocked off, and there's no blood getting to the liver from the organs. which can lead to some serious problems. But once he told me that, there's the blood flow through the capillaries and all that stuff, I just said, okay, well, if that's the case and you think I'm okay, I said, if you think I'm okay to go home, then I'm going to go home. I don't want to stay here if I don't have to. I'd much rather be in my own bed, in my own house, using my own bathroom, my own shower, my own toilet. I just would much rather be home. I can make myself something to eat if I want to, whenever I want. Just anything I need is in my house. It's just so much better. I'd much rather lay in my bed and turn the TV on than lay in a hospital bed and watch TV. So he said, you really think you're okay to go home? He said, because I'm not telling you have to leave. But if you would like to go home and wait until interventional radiology gets in touch with you and then they speak with you, then you can go home. I said, yeah, I want to go home. So we stayed there all night long, and then we came back today. We just got back just a little bit ago, and I've spoken with interventional radiology. My my doctor's nurse, which is actually, he's got a new nurse now. I didn't realize that, but they did. I guess the voicemail that I called yesterday wasn't even an active voicemail anymore, because when I called, I was really confused because it didn't sound the same. But my doctor, I guess somehow or another, got an alert that I was in the emergency room, and they called me when I was on the way home and said that we need to go ahead and get you back in here. We see that you were having some problems and all that. And I said, yeah. So they're trying to get me in next week to see my interventional radiologist. She said that she's going to have to call me back. I do have a date. It's like 2 weeks from now if they can't get me in next week. So it won't be next week, but the week after. If something happens in between and I start getting really ill, or I start, throwing up blood, or I start to develop ascites or whatever, he told me, go ahead and come straight down here, and we're just going to admit you. He said, with the state that you're in right now, you're okay. But if things start to get worse, then I want you to come back. And I said, okay. But so right now I've got an appointment set up with interventional radiology. They're trying to get me in next week, but if not, it's going to be not next week, but the week after. I'll go down there and speak with him, and then we'll come up with a game plan on what they want to do from there. After speaking with the doctor yesterday in the emergency room, from what it was, I spoke with 2 doctors last night, and both doctors said that they think it's my pancreas that's giving me problems. They said, the problem with chronic pancreatitis is that a lot of times it won't show up on the labs because your pancreas is so shot. And I can't remember what it is that they look for when you have pancreas problems. I just cannot remember the name of that one lab that they pull. It's going to come to me right after I do finish this video too. I just can't remember what it's called. But that lab that they look, he said that it was a little bit high, but not extremely high. He said, but when you have chronic pancreatitis, like I said, it's just your pancreas is so bad off that a lot of times the labs just don't reflect what's going on with you. So they're going to be looking at my pancreas as well to see if that's giving me problems again. So I'm going to have to go see my pancreatic specialist. I got to wait for MUSC to call me so I can schedule an appointment with him. And I've got a pancreatic specialist already. I've been having ERCPs there now for like the past 2 years or whatever. I've had so many ERCPs because I had a total blockage in the pancreatic duct that they had to they had to open it up and dilate the pancreatic duct, and they had to place a bunch of stents and some pseudocysts and drain those off. It was a big mess. So once again, I have a pancreatic specialist I've seen many, many times. So I'm going to be seeing him here very soon. And I'll be seeing my interventional radiologist here very soon. And in the meantime, wow, that sounded weird. There was a bird over there like flapping its wings, and it sounded like someone was walking through the woods. But like I said, I've got appointments with my doctors all scheduled right now. And I'm doing okay. I'm just really tired. Still having stomach and back pain. But I'm using heating pads and ice packs and all that kind of stuff. He did give me a prescription for, I don't even know what it is. I cannot remember what he told me the prescription was. I think it was like bento something. But he told me it's some kind of like antispasmodic or something like that. It kind of soothes the stomach muscles. Like, he said it's not a narcotic or anything like that. It's just something that like helps soothe the stomach, or like loosen up the stomach muscles or something like that. I haven't picked that script up yet. Probably go get that tonight. But other than that, like I said, I'm sorry I'm talking so slow right now too. I'm just having a hard time remembering everything. I'm really, 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 really tired right now. So I'm just hoping that, after I get some rest over here the next couple of days, I start to feel better. It was just it was good to know that all my labs are okay. I'm glad that my wife, told me we have to go down there, because we went and we had the CAT scan done and the blood work done, and everything looks okay. It's not perfect, but there's no like really big red flags right now. So that's it. That's it in a nutshell right there. Went to the hospital. Stayed there last night. I thought I was going to be in there for like a week, but it didn't end up being that way. I just came home, and that was my choice. They did give me the option to stay, but I'd much rather be here. If something happens, I have more than enough people to give me a ride down there. Especially as we get closer to the weekend, I won't have any issues getting to Charleston at all. I won't have to worry about driving myself or anything like that. I've got people to drive me down there. The only caveat right now is like my dad just had back surgery like a month ago or a month and a half ago, and my mom just had hip surgery a week ago. So both of my parents are kind of like out of it right now, but I've got plenty of other people that can help me out. My wife, my mother-in-law, my father-in-law. There's tons of people around here that can help me out. My daughter could take me. I mean, there's people that can take me down to Charleston. So just going to play this by ear. I'm hoping that, like I said, that by getting some rest over the next couple of days, I'll start to feel a little bit better. I'm just more tired than anything else right now. And I am having a good bit of stomach and back pain. It's just stomach pain that just radiates to your back. It feels just like pancreatitis. And that's what, I have a feeling that it is my pancreas is acting up. After he said that last night, that I think it's your pancreas. I'm like, yeah, now that you say that, I think it is. Why my pancreas is acting up, I don't know. I haven't done anything, different. But I do have chronic pancreatitis, so it can just happen. That's the one thing about chronic pancreatitis. You get pancreatitis enough times, it ends up being chronic, and then it just keeps happening over and over and over again. It's a lifelong issue that you have to deal with. And you have to watch every single thing you eat. You can't eat anything that's too greasy or too spicy, too salty. There's just so many things you have to watch out for. And then on top of it, I'm a type 1 diabetic, so my diet is, you know, there's only a few things that I'm allowed to eat if I don't want to end up with a really, really, really bad stomach ache. But that's it, guys, in a nutshell. And I'm sorry it took me 25 minutes to explain all of that. But like I said, I'm just really tired. I actually tried filming this a little bit ago and stopped and tried redoing it because I was trying to make it shorter. And I ended up being the same amount of time again. Even when I don't feel good, I can't stop running my mouth. So anyway, that's it, guys. I'm out of the hospital. I'm back home. I'm going to see my doctors here shortly. There is a game plan in order right now, and hopefully they'll go ahead and do this procedure. I do have an appointment with interventional radiology. They know what's going on with me. I have spoken with my doctor, and I'm hoping that they will go in there and clean that clot out now, since I'm having issues. That's what I'm hoping for, and we'll just have to wait and see. But in the meantime, I'll still be here every single day. I'll still do the videos every single day. I'm not going to stop doing that. You know, this is my life, guys. You know, I doing these videos, you know, having a purpose in life. You know, I made a promise to do these videos every day. And try to help as many people as possible. And I'm going to keep my end of the deal and continue to do these videos every single day, regardless of how I feel. I'm just going to keep doing it. So don't worry, the videos will still be up every single day. Don't worry about that. The only thing, I just might, you know, have a hard time. I'm struggling right now getting to the comments because I've been sleeping so much. But I'm trying my best, guys. I'm so sorry that I haven't been able to get to all the comments. I've just, you know, I was in the hospital, and then, you know, I've been sleeping, and I can't look at my phone or anything when we're in the car. It makes me so sick. So I just haven't really had time. I started getting to a few of them early this morning, but I had to stop because there was stuff going on, and we were trying to get home and everything. But I am going to, after I get done with this, I'm going to go inside and start getting back to replying to you guys. It is 6 o'clock right now, so I need to go ahead and finish this video up. I'm already at 30 minutes, and I told myself this video was only going to be 15 minutes a day, and I'm already 15 minutes over that. So, guys, thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate each and every single one of you. I have read through the comments, just replying to them, and there's so many wonderful comments from you guys. I cannot thank y'all enough. You guys are just wonderful. I mean, you truly, really are. I was reading the comments to my wife last night, and tears were just pouring down her face. I don't remember what video I was reading her the comments from. Was it yet the video I posted up? Yeah, it was the video I posted up last night. I was sitting there scrolling through, you know, while we were waiting for the doctor to come back and speak with us, and I was just reading through the comments and reading them to her. My wife was so moved by y'all's comments. I mean, tears were just pouring down her face. I mean, her crying because it made me cry. You know, and a lot of times too, when I'm reading those comments, I tend to get really emotional. I get really touched by what you guys say. I'm already a pretty emotional person already as it is. I'm a very sensitive person. And, you know, when I read those comments, they really do hit home. And I truly do appreciate it. All the prayers, all the love and positive vibes and positive wishes. I can't thank you guys enough just for the kindness from each and every single one of you. It truly is so beautiful, and I can't thank you enough. So, guys, I'm going to go ahead and hop off of here for today. Stay sober today, guys. You really don't want to end up in my shoes. This is such a mess. It really is. You know, I probably wouldn't be dealing with all this stuff if I had just stopped drinking. And I had so many chances. so many chances to stop. And I knew I had a problem. I just kept telling myself that I could fix it, that I was going to be able to take care of it. And I just didn't have it. I just did not have it in me to do it. It wasn't until I went to the hospital and was placed on a medical detox and had that stint of time. I was in the hospital for over 2 weeks. And after I got out, it had been a couple weeks. I hadn't drank. And that medical detox just really did help me. And being sick and in the hospital and almost losing my life really scared me too. And I just told myself, that's it. It's time to stop this. And I hate that it took going through all of that for me to finally learn my lesson. But my parents will tell you that I've always been hard-headed and I've always had to learn things the hard way. It's just the way that I've learned my lessons in life. Somebody told me that a stove was hot. I had to touch it to see if it truly was hot, because that's just the way that I am. And, once again, just stay sober, guys. Don't go back to it. Those thoughts, they do cross our mind. I get those thoughts all the time. I just know what the consequences will be if I go back. My whole entire life will just completely fall apart. I was talking with Slayer just the other night. I can't remember what night we were talking with each other. But we were on the phone for a little bit, and we were talking about something that I want to talk about this week too, which was, for some reason, whenever I would relapse and get back in that mindset and stuff, that I would get so self-destructive when it would happen. And I don't know if it's because I just felt like, whatever, I've relapsed again and my life's just falling apart, and I would just get super self-destructive just because I relapsed. I just had so much shame and guilt, and I felt so bad about myself. I was so disappointed in my willpower. It would just bring me to these really dark places. I'd be driving down the road and I would think to myself, I could just hit the gas right now. I'm already going around a curve and I'm going 60 miles an hour. And I would think to myself, I could just stomp the gas and just keep going straight right through this right now. And that's the kind of stuff that used to just cross my mind when I would relapse. I would just get super self-destructive. I want to talk about that this week. I'm wondering how many other people out there get that same kind of feeling whenever that would happen for them as well. I think it would be a good conversation, because when I was talking with Slayer, he said, I get the same way, and I thought I was the only one that got like that. But anyway, guys, once again, it's one day at a time. It truly is. And just for today, let's not drink, let's not get intoxicated, and let's not go back to that bottle or that substance or that activity. Let's just stay away from it for today. In your mind, tell yourself, if I really want to, I can do it tomorrow. But today, I'm not going to. If I really want it, it's going to be there tomorrow if I want it. Because if there's one thing I can promise, they're not closing any liquor stores or beer stores or gas stations or grocery stores or any of that stuff. They're going to be there forever. So it's not like you have to hurry up and get to the store real quick before prohibition or anything like that. It's going to be there. So just tell yourself that, it's there. And if I really wanted it, I could just go get it tomorrow. But for today, I'm going to stay sober. And with that said, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get off of here for today. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for supporting me. Thank you so much for being a part of my journey. Thank you so much for allowing me to become a part of your journey. Just thank you so much for letting me into your life. And I truly do appreciate it, guys. This has been one of the coolest experiences I've ever had in my entire life. Meeting each and every single one of you, talking with you guys, just interacting with you guys, and just, we truly are becoming part of each other's lives right now with this channel. And it's one of the coolest things I've ever experienced in my life. It truly is. So thank you again for allowing me to be a part of your life. So with that said, guys, one more time, let's stay sober just for today. And until tomorrow, I will see y'all then. I love you guys so much. Bye-bye.